Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in to another video. So, you know the drill. This is the June plan with me. This past month, I've been doing a lot more logo work, and with that came me diving in a bit more to some of the books on typography that we have here at the house. And so I thought it'd be fun to go a little minimal this month for me anyways. I don't know how minimal it really is. So I've been reading books like this lettering manual from House Industries, and I really was inspired by some of the typography and just some of the lettering in there. So I decided to go with a typography theme. June is also my birthday month, so my name starts with a J. So I really took the J motif and tried to mix it up a bit as far as the types of fonts and the different parts of the letter J. So without further ado, let's get to it.
Okay guys, per usual, we're starting this thing off with the quote and cover page. The quote I chose this month is super personal, I guess. It's actually a response to a weekly lettering prompt I get in my email inbox from a super great muralist and lettering artist by the name of Lauren Hom. So every week you're sent a prompt to hand letter, and of course you get to post it on Instagram with a special tag if you want, but I thought it was relevant this month to include as my quote page. The prompt was basically to letter or illustrate a phrase or mantra that challenges a negative thought you often have about yourself. And for me, I have a lot of negative thoughts surrounding self-worth. I've put myself down quite a bit for being just a graphic designer, or just the girlfriend, or just this, or just that. So to sort of combat that thought, I came up with, you're not just the anything, reminding myself that I'm so much more than I give myself credit for. And with this being a birthday month and sort of the beginning of a new Julia fiscal year, if you will, I think it'll be a good one to look to when I'm feeling down. I wanted a bit of metallic flair this month since the color scheme is pretty minimal. I'm using a Crayola Art Edge metallic marker to fill in the word just, and the color goes on super opaque, which I love. I will definitely need to go over some of the areas with black again to maintain that solid outline. Adding some decorative flair to the letters, I'm adding an inline down the center of the letters and just some dots around the bottom where the metallic marker ends. Inline fonts are pretty commonplace in typography. These types of fonts give a bold look with just a little touch of style. I'm going in with a gray Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip pen to letter the anything. I'll leave all the supplies I'm using for this setup in the description below if you're interested in grabbing anything for yourself or recreating spreads like this. To dress up this theme a bit more, I'm going to be using some blackout dot grid paper from our Archer and Olive blackout journal. For this whole setup, I'm using about 1.5 pages, so it's not too much of a sacrifice. But I'm gluing these down with a permanent craft glue stick in the corners, and of course I found some washi tape to set it off. For the metallic dots and stars and sparkles, I'm going in with a Uniball Signal gel pen, and this shows up really great on dart paper, which I love. For the cover page, I'm drawing a big old J for June, for Julia, in a more embellished style. If this were a font, it would be considered a display font. These types of fonts are more elaborate, and you wouldn't use them for big areas of text because you just wouldn't be able to read it as easily. So typically these are seen large and more for effect than anything. Going in with my Posca paint pen on top of the black to just add a bit more interest. Outlining bits with the bullet nib side of the dual brush pen to get some separation there, and then just adding a touch of that metallic shine with the Uniball gel pen to finish that off. Moving on to the monthly calendar spread, I'm going to be using more black paper in the corner since I really liked the look and contrast of that. I'm splitting the calendar into 2 blocks and giving a drop shadow for a bit more dimension and just using the lighter gray to separate out the dates and the days of the week into headers. On the right side of the spread, I'm going to be drawing out 4 different J's and 4 different font and lettering types: a serif, a sans serif, a slab, and a script, and then labeling those to give it sort of that design book feel. So for the top left, I'm going to be doing a large outline scripty J sort of diagram, pointing out the different parts of the letter in the super official typography terms, and I wanted to do this in both black and white, so I'm just using a pencil to plan out where the top part of the J will end up being, and then I'll just go over that with the Posca paint pen. So I decided to do an indicator of the J's loop, terminal, which is sort of like the end of the letter form, and swash, which is the decorative flare at the beginning of the letter. There are a few weekly tasks I want to try to implement more regularly: wiping down surfaces, washing our dog Zora, and sweeping up. I did this back in April in a different sort of table, but found doing it in a small bullet list at the end of every week works better for me. Next up are the habit and mood trackers along with the box a day spread. Surprise, I'm doing more J's. So for my mood tracker, I'm drawing 2 different J's and insetting them with a few different shapes. And I'll be coloring in a shape every day based on my mood. If you're doing a mood tracker like this, I highly suggest planning it out lightly with a pencil first so you know you have enough room to get in the 30 or 31 shapes depending on the month, of course. The box a day page is quick and easy to do, so I'm quickly going to jump over there and knock out that grid with a fine liner. I'm treating this grid similar to the calendar spread, using the same colors for the drop shadow and the header bars. Since this journal is slightly larger than the Archer and Olive A5 journals, and since I'm trying to use as little paper as possible, I ended up having to color in some of the areas around the edge of the paper, which is a quick and easy fix and looks just fine. I actually forgot to print out calendar stickers this month, so I'm going to be doing the habit tracker calendars manually, which I'm not gonna lie, takes a nice little chunk of time to do. Plus, another reason I've been liking printing out the Cricut stickers is because this journal's dot grid spacing is super tiny compared to the standard like 5mm spacing. So the calendars and the numbers are really small. While numbering the calendars, most of the numbers are just like the impression of the shape of the number, just because I couldn't get myself to write any smaller. The last spread in this month's setup is, of course, the weekly spread. Since things are hopefully going to be picking up a little more at the start of June, I'm trying a truncated rolling weekly for this spread. Most of May ended up having a very classic day-to-day weekly with little room for day-to-day bullet lists, and I needed lots of space for notes. I thought slowly phasing back into the full rolling weekly seemed like the move going into June. I'm thinking it'll be fun to give each week a different theme that's like, of course, typography themed. The first week, all the days of the week and primary headers are going to be in script. Maybe next week I'll do serif and sans after that, who knows. Along the bottom of this left page will be my wash day chart where I track my curly hair wash day routine products. I had a little awkward space out beside the wash day chart, so I'm going to be doing a fun J here as well. This one is going to be pretty fun. I'm going to go in with a pretty severe drop shadow, but make it striped, kind of like the washi tape. Just another way to tie in that motif throughout the theme. For the right side of the spread, I'm using half of the page for the rolling weekly task list. These will generally be any tasks that don't have a hard due date throughout the week. The bottom half of the page I'm reserving for notes. This part of setting up the task list is probably my least favorite, and I don't have to grid it out like this, but it goes back to these dot grids being so close together. It's easier for me to tell what grid space is what day when I have them all outlined like this. I don't plan on doing these outline grids when I migrate into a new journal in a few months, but we'll see. And that's pretty much it for this setup. So before we get into the final flip through, I just want to again thank everyone so much for watching and staying engaged with me in these videos. This really has been super fun and something I look forward to doing every month. Let me know what you guys want to see next from me and show some love by hitting that like button. If you're new and want to keep hanging out, consider subscribing so you know when to head on back. I'm really glad I challenged myself and went a little minimal with the color scheme this month. I really loved how the theme turned out and I'm excited to keep working on it. And without further ado, let's get to the final flip through. See you guys in the next one. And if you like this video, here are a couple more I think you would enjoy.